Good morning, dear children. Come back to online classes. Today we are going to see chapter 4 of civics, the remaining part. Now we are going to see the story to understand how the issue of domestic violence was brought to the attention of the parliament and the process adopted for this issue to become law. Here is the story what you are seeing on the screen, that is October 2006, the conversation between two ladies you can see here, two women, Sazia and Kusum. Sazia, did you read today's newspaper? Isn't it a great day for women? The next woman, not just women, violence free homes will benefit everyone. Kusum, it's taken such a long time to get this law passed. In fact, it began with establishing the need for a new law. Kusum and Sazia work for a women's organization. They remember the journey of how the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act got passed. So this was a conversion between these two women. Now let us see the journey how the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act got. A typical day at their office. April 1991. First woman says that I need advice. My husband beats me up. I haven't told anyone so far. I feel so ashamed. I can't go on like this anymore, but I have nowhere to go. The second woman, I am being ill treated by my son and daughter in law. They verbally abuse me. I have no access to my bank accounts. They may even throw me out. Then the first woman whose husband beats her, she says that I do not want to go to the police. I just want to stop the violence. The old woman whose son and daughter-in-law abuses her, she says that I just don't want to be thrown out of the house I am living in. The advisor says by hearing this, unfortunately, the existing law is a criminal one and does not offer these options. Then, throughout the 1990s, the need for a new law was raised in different forums. So, here is the public hearing. We have heard testimonies of several women. We have seen that women want protection against being beaten, the right to continue living in a shared household, and often temporary relief. We need a new civil law to address this issue. So, in 1999, Lawyers Collective, a group of lawyers, law students, and activists, after nationwide consultation, took the lead in drafting the Domestic Violence Prevention and Protection Bill. This draft bill was widely circulated. So, here the discussion about the domestic violence, the definition is the definition of domestic violence should include physical, economic, sexual, and verbal and emotional abuse. Then, next, the law should cover any woman living within a shared domestic space. They should be protected from being evicted from the shared household. Then the next one says that what about some monetary relief? Monetary relating to money. Meetings were held with different organizations. So in the meeting, the women's movement want a new law on domestic violence. The government should introduce it in parliament soon. Then finally the bill was introduced in parliament in 2002. But what the conversation, let us see. This bill has none of what we have been suggesting. We must oppose the bill in its present form. Let's have a press conference. We could also start an online petition. Women's organizations, National Commission of Women, made submissions to the Parliamentary Standing Committee. So here, estimated members of the Parliamentary Standing Committee. The present bill must be changed. We do not agree with the definition of domestic violence being proposed. The law needs to provide for temporary custody of children. In December 2002, the Standing Committee submitted its recommendations to the Rajya Sabha, and these were also tabled in the Lok Sabha. The committee report accepted most of the demands of the women's group. Finally, a new bill was introduced in Parliament in 2005. After being passed in both the houses of Parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it was sent to the President for his assent. The Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act came into effect in 2006 finally. At a press conference in October 2006, let us see what was the conversation going on. What is this new law? This law is a first in recognizing a woman's right to a violence-free home and provides a comprehensive definition of domestic violence. This is a civil law aimed at providing relief to millions of women, including wives, mothers, daughters, and sisters affected by violence in their homes. So the press conference continues here. The next, this law is very significant step because it recognizes the right of women to live in a shared household. Women can get a protection order against any further violence. Women can get monetary relief to meet their expenses including medical costs and all. Then next, now begins another long journey. So the law has been already passed by the Parliament, but the next step is that the government has to ensure that this law is implemented and enforced. The above example shows the role of citizens is crucial in helping Parliament frame different concerns that people might have into laws. From establishing the need for a new law to its being passed, at every stage of the process, the voice of the citizen is a crucial element. So this voice can be heard through TV reports, newspaper editorials, radio broadcast, local meetings, all of which help in making the work that Parliament does more accessible and transparent to the people. Unpopular and controversial laws. Controversial here means giving rise or likely to give rise to controversy or public disagreement. Let us see now the situation where the Parliament passes laws that turn out to be very unpopular. Sometimes a law can be constitutionally valid and hence legal, but it can be continued unpopular and unacceptable to people because they feel that the intention behind it is unfair and harmful. So people can criticize this law. Criticize means they go against this law, hold public meetings, write about it in newspapers, report to TV news channels, etc. In a democracy like ours, citizens can express their unwilling to accept repressive laws framed by Parliament. Here, repressive means, in context of this chapter, it refers to the law which often prevent the people from exercising their fundamental rights, including right to speech and assembly. When a large number of people begin to feel that a wrong law has been passed, then there is pressure on the Parliament to change this. For example, various municipal laws on the use of space within municipal limits often make hawking and street vending illegal. No one will dispute the necessity for some rules to keep the public space open so that people can walk on the pavements easily. Here pavements means footpath. However, one also cannot deny that hawkers and vendors provide essential services cheaply and efficiently to the millions living in a large city. Because hawkers and vendors they provide services and also it is cheap and efficiently to the million living in a large city. This is their means of livelihood also. Hence, if the law favors one group and disregards the other, it will be controversial and lead to conflict. Conflict means a series of disagreement or argument. People who think that the law is not fair can approach to the court to decide on the issue. The court has the power to modify or cancel laws if it finds that they don't adhere to the constitution. The following pictures point to other ways in which people protest unjust laws. We need to remember that our role as citizen does not end with electing our representatives. Rather than it is then that we begin to use newspaper and the media to carefully chart the work that is being done by our MPs and criticize their actions when we feel it is required. Thus, what we should bear in mind is that it is the extent, involvement, and enthusiasm of the people that helps Parliament perform its representative functions properly. So, here what it is said that we use the vote right to vote and we elect our representative. But role does not end by simply electing our representatives. We should carefully chart the work done by them and criticize their action when we feel it is required. Involvement of people helps Parliament perform its representatives function properly. So it is the end of this chapter number 4. Thank you.